All right, all right. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. I'm your host, the romantic funny man, Shawn Cornelius, and I'm so happy to be here this evening, and I'm happy that you are here this evening. First things first, I want to say good evening to my right and my left hand, my program director, DDC, Denise DeGiorgio Cooney, and my other hand, my left hand, producer Smoke in the house, and everyone who's tuning in. And I want to let you guys know, like I always do, that when we do these shows are actually streaming live when I do these shows. So you're going to hear me talking to some people you may not see. I want to say what's going on to everyone out there on Facebook, streaming on the After Dark page. And hello to you watching on Proxnet and watching on DH1 TV. And if you're listening to the podcast version on Spotify. Well, listen, got another fantastic show tonight. Mm, I always say that, but at the end of the show, you guys are like, "Yeah, that was a good one." Tonight's show, very special guest in the building. Brother I've known for some years now. Met this brother through Trevor Bonner, my other brother, Bonafide Entertainment Comedy Spillage, and he is definitely someone who continues to do things in the entertainment business and in the community. And so we're going to find out exactly what he does. He's connected to Harlem Week. He's connected to City College. He's got so many things that he does in the radio industry. But there's some other things. Like I said, he's a businessman and he owns his own business, he and his wife. So I want you guys to make sure you sit back and relax. Don't go nowhere for the next hour. We got so much going on. What's up, Skip? I want to say what's up to everybody out there, Harvey, Anita, and Nancy. So it's about 3 minutes after the hour. So that means it's time for me to bring my guest in all the way from his home. I want to tell you where the man lives. Mind your business. I'm going to bring him in right now. Welcome, my friend, Mr. Marko Noble. Marko.
Shawn, what's happening, sir? It's an honor to be.
Go ahead, man.
It's an honor to be here with you, man. I certainly appreciate being able to share this time with you.
Hey, man, it's been a minute. We've been connected for a while, but it's been a minute since we've actually done some things together. So listen, man, you've shown me love over the years, so it's just only right, and it's in my DNA to do that for someone who's looked out for me. So I'm hoping that this could be considered a lookout.
Oh, absolutely. I certainly consider it a lookout.
Well, you notice I didn't tell them where you live, so I got your best
Well,
interest at
right,
heart
right,
already. I didn't
exactly.
mention
You started off right.
All right, so how's everything, man? Thank you for doing this. How's everything going?
You can't complain, man, with everything going on in the world. Healthy. My family and I are healthy. We're able to continue to move through these strange times that we're in. So, I cannot complain. There are a lot of people who unfortunately have it worse.
Yes, yes. Well, we continue to pray for those that have it worse or less fortunate or not and who are dealing. And I know quite a few. Now, I want you guys to listen and understand that Marko knows just how to talk on the mic. He knows how to do an interview because this man actually does interviews. He's on the other side of the seat at times. So he does radio and he's been doing it for a while. So if he looks really relaxed and calm and cool, that's because he knows what he's doing. You know what he's doing. So let's dig into it, man, because time goes so quickly when you're having fun, and we're about to have some fun. Tell the people out there, man, my supporters, who Marko Nobles is. Who are you? Where are you from?
Well, I'm originally from Harlem, born and raised in Harlem. I always say I'm a city kid with country roots. Most of my family is from North Carolina. When I say most of my family, it's like 95%. Like I'm one of the few that is born and raised here in New York. But born and raised in Harlem. I have, you mentioned I work with Harlem Week, the Harlem Week Festival. I've been involved in that for a good portion of my life.
Okay. Yeah.
And I've worked in radio for a number of years. I worked at one of the legendary heritage stations of New York City, WWRL Radio.
Mm-hmm.
Over its last few years of existence. And eventually, I'd always wanted to do radio, and eventually I started my own company and then decided to start an internet radio station that was based on a weekly radio show that I hosted, and I still host out of City College at WHCR 90.3 FM. That show is called Rhythm and Soul Radio. So
Yes.
I expanded it to a full 24-hour internet radio station, which is rhythmandsoulradio.com, which is one of the main properties of Enjoy Enterprises, which is the overall company that I share with my wife, who's also my partner.
Right, right. That's cool. And you mentioned all that. You're trying to make my job easier, throwing all the stuff in there in the first answer, but that ain't going to do it, brother. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and start when you started getting interested in doing radio and why. What was it in your growing up that you wanted to do it? What was it?
Well, actually, it was originally I wanted to do TV. I wanted to be a television anchor person. I sat in high school in a journalism class, and they showed a documentary on, I think it was Peter Jennings was the featured anchor person at the time, and they were showing him typing out his news stories before he
Okay.
went on the air, and he was typing, how a lot of us typed on those old typewriters with one finger like that.
Yeah, 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 for
And
sure.
I was like, I could do that. I'd love to do that. So, got to college, had the opportunity to do news on the radio, and I just took to it. I just loved that. Loved the idea of being able to be with people, on a daily basis, and really kind of helping them shape their day. First, it was news, but then through music. And really creating a space for them. They say radio is theater of the mind,
Right.
and that
Yes.
always stuck with me. So that's kind of how I first got involved and interested in being into radio, and I just wanted to do it ever since.
Right. So now you mentioned television in the news. Have you had an opportunity throughout your radio career to do television?
I've dabbled a little bit. Usually, though, when I've been on television, it's been through organizations I've worked with where I've served as a spokesperson. So I'm being the interviewee as opposed to
Right.
the interviewer, or not necessarily covering news per se. So it wasn't like I had thought or planned. Through some of the activities of Rhythm and Soul Radio and Enjoy Enterprises, I've created some online video pieces that we've done over time, but the real focus has been radio for me.
Just mainly the radio thing. Well, you're doing well. You're doing it well because I've had the pleasure and the honor to be on Rhythm and Soul Radio, and I had a show which was the Expressions of Love and Romance show, and you
Yes,
actually reached out and was like, "Yo, I got a slot." So when we spoke, but that was awesome. So Rhythm and Soul, let's jump to it. Rhythm and Soul Radio is an eclectic 24-hour station
right.
where you've got everything from the slow jams to the talk shows to the neo souls and all that. Explain a little bit more to let them know about Rhythm and Soul Radio.
Well, like you said, Sean, rhythmandsoulradio.com is a 24-hour urban eclectic internet radio station. And we say urban eclectic because we really want to focus on all of our music. And when I say our music, I am speaking of black music in particular, but black music is all music. So it's rock music, it's Afrobeat, it's
Mhm,
world music, it's
mhm.
bossa nova, it's hip hop, it's spoken word, it's
Right,
jazz, it's gospel. We touch all of it. So I wanted to create a space to really showcase all of our music and do so while also showcasing independent artists and featuring independent artists that don't get the same level of attention that you might hear when you listen to the traditional radio stations. And there are so many incredible artists who are doing incredible music,
right,
but you just never get to hear them, not because they're not as good, they just don't get the shot.
right.
They don't have the outlet to
Mhm.
play their music. So that's kind of what I built Rhythm and Soul Radio on. And like I said, I started when I was just doing a weekly show at WHCR, but doing once or twice a week wasn't enough because more and more music and more things just kept coming. So I had to figure out a way to use all of that was coming to like really get it out to the world. So that I decided about 13, 14 years ago now to start rhythmandsoulradio.com and create this 24-hour platform to have this music get heard. So it's independent artists alongside some of the mainstream artists that people know and love as well.
Yeah, because you don't keep it in the studio. You take it around and do
Yes.
events in the community. And
Yes.
in the summertime, I know you bounce around to a lot of the boroughs and do some things in the boroughs. So talk about some of the events that are regular since you've been doing rhythm and soul for you said almost 13, 14 years now. What are some of the staples that you do yearly?
Well, the staples have changed over the years. And when we first started going out to doing events, we started out with an event that really featured independent artists. It was the International Soul Music Summit, which took place in Atlanta for a number of years. So that was one of our first forays to go out and do a live broadcast like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we eventually looked at doing different events in New York City and beyond. So, we've done broadcasts with Comedy Spillage, where we met. Uh,
Yes, yes.
and we would do a live broadcast from the Comedy Spillage events around the city. We've done live broadcasts from Grammy Award events with its pre-Grammy events, that sort of thing, here in New York. We've done the Winter Music Conference in Miami, Florida. We've done events in Ibiza, Ibiza, Spain.
Okay.
We've done some live broadcasts for different events there. And most recently, we've been annually going to the South by Southwest Festival in Austin, Texas, and doing live broadcasts and producing our own events as a part of the South by Southwest Festival as well.
So it's definitely something you start out. Obviously, you had visions of doing big things, but the big things are actually going on, and you're doing it. You're international, and you're plus you got a shirt on. You got a little. So everybody has a brand and a logo. That's a big deal.
Well, I gotta say this had I specifically got this shirt. I happened to get this shirt today.
Oh, really?
I was trying out different things, and this came in the mail today. And I said, well, it's perfect timing since I know I'm going to be on the show tonight. So I tried it on. I love it. So I said, well, I'm going to wear it and debut it right now tonight. After dark with Shawn Cornelius.
Man, listen, we got another exclusive right and left hand. Smoking DDT. And so we've been having some exclusives. People have been doing stuff on the show. We actually have T-shirts as well. So I think we're actually moving up in the game on your level because we have After Dark with Shawn Cornelius shirts, and they actually were done today. So
okay.
I just don't have them in my presence, but they'll be out. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make sure that you get one for being a guest on the show. So
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's about the branding and doing things, man. And so
we got to trade. We got to trade.
Yeah, what is your now, man? The pandemic came and smashed things. What have you been able to do with rhythm and soul? Well, because you don't have to be out anywhere, basically. But
right.
What have you been doing because of the pandemic? How have you been making it work?
Well, what we've done, one of the biggest things for the pandemic for us is that obviously, like I said, we would go out and do events, and we can't do that. We also produced specific events, performance events for, again, independent artists. So we did a long time series called The Rendezvous. Which featured independent artists performing live
Right.
in Harlem, particular. That's a series that we did for about 10 years or so. And then we expanded that. We took The Rendezvous to South by Southwest when we were last there. We also did events at the Apollo Music Cafe at the Apollo Theater. So obviously all of that changed with the pandemic. But it allowed us to really kind of focus more in on the radio side. So we, did more things. We launched Twitch channels, and a number of our personalities launched their own Twitch channels so that we can interact in that way with the music and video. We've done long form music marathons, kind of like a long DJ sets with our different personalities. Over the pandemic. So we've, tried to reach out a little bit more in that way that focuses less on the live, but, the more on the radio and really kind of pushing the radio aspect and being in people's homes in radio the way it was, meant to be from the beginning.
Right, right. And no, just to say something really quickly, Thomas Gooding, I'm sure you know
Yes,
Thomas Gooding. Want to say
yes.
what's up to my band member, Thomas Gooding, shouting you out, saying what's up, Marco.
Good brother,
And
my man.
yeah, and you mentioned the events, the showcase. The one in Harlem that you so, and I'm humbled when I say these things because being able to get on some platforms, you gave me an opportunity to be on stage in Harlem and do my own set.
Right.
And we
And
actually
not doing comedy,
not doing
singing,
comedy. I
doing,
w- yeah, I did an actual what
with your
20.
music that you
Yeah, it
was,
was 20 something, 30, almost 30-minute set, and we filmed it, and it's actually on my YouTube channel. What was the name of the place where you did the show?
at the Shrine,
At the Shrine. That's what it was.
Yep.
Yes, and it was fantastic, and I filmed it and did interviews, Marco, and interview Marco, and that's one of the things I say. I'm saying that because you give people platforms like you're saying to get out there and put their music out, to get out there and just put whatever their art is out there, and it's such a great thing to do, man. So I'm so appreciative of cats like you who do that for folks because we need to do that. If we have a platform, we're supposed to share our platform,
Absolutely.
and for people that don't get an opportunity. So where are you planning on going? Like, I know you had to think, we all think through the pandemic, where are you trying to take, because Rhythm and Soul has been around for a minute, man. It's a staple. And what
Hmm.
are you trying to do? What's on the burner next? If whatever you can talk about.
Well, I mean, it's really kind of looking at how you expand, right? And using this time to kind of go inside to plan and tinker a little bit to put your brand further out there. So whether it's, merchandise, whether it's, when events are able to happen again, how to, really do events. Is it, will there be a Rhythm and Soul Radio Festival or a Rhythm and Soul Festival?
Right.
Those are the types of things that we're thinking about and trying to see how do we make those types of things happen, and how do we use this quote unquote downtime to really kind of plan a little bit better in terms of what we're doing.
Okay. And let's jump to Enjoy Enterprises for a second. And you said you started that with your wife, of
Yep.
course. And what else? What are the details? What does Enjoy bring to the community and the entertainment industry?
Well, Enjoy Enterprises is a company. Well, first of all, let me say, because everybody will naturally think of Enjoy in the traditional spelling, but
Hmm.
Enjoy is spelled INJOY, and it's something that my wife really kind of created. Well, I created the name based on a saying my wife would say. She would always say, enjoy or live life enjoy.
Okay. Right.
So
Gotcha.
to be in joy is the goal, and there are many ways to do that. So my area, my lane is more around entertainment, music, things of that performance, and people being able to enjoy culture in that way. What my wife has always been about is about serving people and spreading joy in from the inside out. So I mentioned she is a licensed minister, interfaith, interspiritual minister. She is a licensed spiritual practitioner. She's a life coach. She though she does not use it as much now, she is a licensed feng shui practitioner.
Okay.
So all of those, there's all of that aspect as a part of Enjoy as well. So we kind of bring the two things together. So now she, through her ministry, does a daily morning sip, as it's called, which is short for spirit and practice.
Okay.
Like a brief sermonette for the day, for people to kind of get charged for their day, and whenever it is that they watch it throughout the day. And she does it on her Facebook page and on YouTube and all of that. She just started doing a new online show called Living Life Enjoy with Reverend Melissa. So So there are all the elements of enjoy that come from inside and outside. So we try to make sure we have both covered. So she helps you from the spiritual inside aspect of having joy and living life in joy, and I work from the outside, bringing that joy from the outside, from the performance, from the music, from the culture that is all around us, and be able to use that to help spread joy.
Sure, and you got obviously you got it down pat. You sound like a great team, and you got to have a supportive spouse, supportive
Absolutely.
partner, and that's such a great thing, man. So, what would you tell folks? What would you tell the folks that are out there watching? We have quite a few folks. Hey, Shayna, how you doing? What kind of advice, man, if they wanted to start this, just getting into the radio business?
Um, well, I mean, it's hard because it's so different now than even when I started. But you know, diversify as much as possible. Learn to do as much within radio as you can, um, especially these days because you kind of have to be in a do-it-yourself mindset now.
Exactly. Yep.
Because
Exactly.
because of the internet, because it's not so much you're going to walk into a radio station and say, I want a job, because jobs are fewer and farther between,
Hmm.
and everything is automated and that sort of thing.
Right.
Whereas, there is podcasts and there is internet radio and there is, all of those things that you need to kind of figure out. How do you produce your own show? What are the elements you need to produce your own show? What is the recording equipment that you need?
Right.
What is the editing that you need to do? And learning to be able to do all of that. You don't have to be an expert. You may not be a professional. You may not be able to uh, sell your skills, so to speak, as an expert producer, but you could certainly be good enough to create your own vehicle.
Yeah.
And that and it's very similar to what many people are doing, and whether it's music or TV, or people are shooting full films on their iPhones or their
Yep.
Android
Mhm.
phones, what have you. We're in an era where it's really about learning to do as much as you can, and then applying that. And when you can't do something, find the people you can partner with that bring something that you don't have, and then you bring something they don't have, so you can create a winning partnership so that you can both kind of move to another level.
Right. Yeah. No, because you're actually saying what's going on right now. Sitting here doing the show right now from your home and working all the controls that you have 5 and 6 people working when you're in the studio. You do it yourself. You learn it yourself. And I'm sitting here doing 5 different things and doing the interview, but it's something that is valuable to you.
Yes.
Especially if you don't have to be a genius at everything, but if you know how to operate these virtual platforms, if you know how to do the sound, you know how to have your mic system set up, you know how to have your cam set up properly so you got a good look and everything that you're doing. Now, once things open back up, you can go out and go, yeah, I could do that, or let me just get on this now. But I have the basic skills,
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that happens. All right,
Yep.
that's cool, man. That's really really cool. So you're still doing the station. You're doing Rhythm and Soul. You're doing WHCR. You're doing the Enjoy Enterprise. Is there anything else that you have on the burner that you're working on?
Well, I will say, because what I didn't say about Enjoy Enterprises is, in addition to the events and stuff that we produce, we also consult, and so that's a lot of what I do in terms of consulting for other organizations or other events and activities, particularly in PR and marketing, because that is a lot of my background. When I didn't work in radio right away
Yes.
after college, I worked and to sustain myself doing PR and marketing, whether it was for the Harlem Week Festival, or whether it was for other radio stations, or whatever it was. That was the background. So in building the business, that was a major part of it as well, because frankly, that is, you have your passion. Uh,
Hmm.
for me, the radio is my passion, but you got to find the things that actually pay the bills too. So, and
Right.
find a way to bring the both of them together
Hmm.
when you have your own company is the most important thing. So I've been blessed that we can, both my wife and I are able to do that. We find we're able to use our passion as well as our skills that we've developed to kind of bring them both together in our company. So
Yeah, I got a quick question, man, because a few minutes I want to take a break really quickly. But radio, man, we know radio has changed so much. It's not
yeah,
the old format where it's the magic in your ears and you don't know what's going on. Now you got radio shows that are on TV, and that's not radio. That's not radio to me. That's
right,
TV. You know what
right.
I'm saying? That's a TV show. What do you think about that? Because when back in the day, I started doing radio in 2000, where it was still the magic, the mystique of the voice, and you know what I mean. You're thinking about what the person looks like. You're thinking about what's going on in the studio. Now you can see everything, so it kind of takes away. What do you feel about how things have gone with technology and things today?
It's hard because I mentioned, we've launched our Twitch channel so that we do all of that as well. But you're right. There is something that is different. It's not quite radio in the same way as we grew up with. And there's something that's still very important about that. One of the things that I always said when I started doing rhythm and soul radio as the show and then as the station is the music was so important because that's what I grew up with. Uh,
Right.
you grow up thinking
Hmm.
about what Frankie Crocker was doing when he
Hmm.
played that record, or you think about what Vaughn Harper, how he has things set up when he's doing a Quiet Storm, or
Right.
those types of things. So, and that all is still very important. So even now when we do our shows and do them and have the video stream on Twitch and stuff, I try, especially on mine, I try not to show myself as much,
Hmm.
but create other videos for people to see, so that it's really more about the music and about the feeling, and allow people to and then sometimes we just won't do the video feed at all and just
Right.
let people vibe out to the music.
Yeah, because it's like now it's like, well, I'm going to watch radio and I'm gonna go listen to TV type deal. You know what I mean? It's like on that level. But and again, just knowing that because I've done radio, I know what goes on in it. So everything is private. So you don't. You could be doing 50 million things and people don't see. But now you got your cameras, the streamers on. You can't even have that privacy on the radio tip on that level.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's kind of like where we are. We've become so much more visual
Yeah.
with social media, whether it's
Hmm.
Facebook and then on the YouTube and all of that. We're so much more visual now, that it's part of the evolution. Certainly, I love the idea of the theater of the mind and creating
Right.
the mystique, and there's still a place for that in a way that is the trick is trying to figure out a way to do both,
Yeah.
because you have to quote unquote compete. You have to stay, where things are going, but
Hmm.
you want to, connect to those like us that have a certain idea of what radio and what it makes them feel, and that's what you want to touch on.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. But again, things do move, things progress, and it's not the same way. But that's when you know you're old when you go, man. Back in my day, yeah,
Right,
yeah, I say that a lot, boy. Back, you don't know nothing, you young bucks. Y'all don't understand. You had to listen to the radio on the radio, or you had to wait to pick up the phone because there was no phone in your hand, no cell phones, and they're like, you're a dinosaur.
right, right.
Cool, man. Well, listen, great first half, man. Thank you for all the information and continued blessings to your stuff in your career, man. You and the wife doing your business. But we'll take a short break, man. You got to come. I want to get you prepared for the second half of the show. Give you a chance to breathe for a second. And
All
then
right.
come on back. I don't think you don't go nowhere. You got a lot of records back there behind you to keep you busy for like 2 minutes. So we're gonna
Yeah, I'll play something or something.
we're
I'll
gonna
be all right.
we'll be right. It'll be a short break. We'll take a break. Come back with more Marko Nobles on After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. You guys stay right where you are.
what's going on? This is Wanye Morris of Boys to Men here, showing love and support for my boy, Shawn Cornelius, and his Enough is Enough movement to stop the senseless killings. We need to stand strong, y'all, together and heal our country. So, keep up the good work, SC. Much love, yo. Peace.
As I walk
This is Terrence Weatherspoon reporting live for the No News Network. This coronavirus is going to make me kill somebody. Why? Who left this in the damn refrigerator? Terrence Weatherspoon reporting live for the No News Network.
All right. We're back with more After Dark with Shawn Cornelius and my special guest tonight, Brother Marko Nobles. And again, thank you so much. Good, brother? Was that long?
I'm good.
That wasn't long, right? That wasn't too long.
Not at all. We're good. We're
Good. All right, man. So we're about to go into this second half, but we got to set the mood. We got to get the mood right. And we just finished talking about the magic of radio. So I know you got magic in your system. You probably don't even know how powerful you are. So I need you to show your powers right now and just do me a favor and just say abracadabra for me.
Abracadabra.
Oh boy, look at that.
Oh, okay.
Look at how
we got magic.
We got magic. We're in the love zone now, man. I got to put you on the romantic funny man's love seat for a little bit. Just gonna have some fun with love and find out what Marko Nobles, what his level of understanding of love and romance is. We ready?
Okay, we ready.
Got a few questions for you. All right, first question, man. What is your definition of love, and why is it important to you?
Oh man, definition of love is unconditional. It is hard to describe. It is as much a feeling as it is an emotion, and it is everlasting. It is no matter what you do, you can't stop feeling it once it hits. That's
okay. I'll take that. All right. And why is that important to you?
Well, it's like the Teddy Pendergrass song. It's trying to find you loving somebody when somebody loves you back.
Yes.
That's what we're all searching for. We all search for that love, to be able to love somebody and somebody loves you back the same way. And those of us that find it, we're blessed to be able to be in relationships and partnerships and marriages that last decades, because we found that ultimate thing that we're searching for, and it's fluid. It's not, it doesn't mean that everything is peaches and roses all the time. It's ups and downs. It's a roller coaster, but it's a connection that you build and continue to work on, and that's the most important thing, because to be able to grow old with someone is it's priceless.
Right. Okay. Good deal. All right. So let's try romance. What's your definition of romance, and why is that important to you?
Romance keeps the love going. It keeps the love in love. I'll say it that way. Romance is, those flowers at unexpected times. Romance is having a date night and having a date weekend. Romance is picnics in the living room. Romance is a poem for a birthday, and it's just a poem that you write, on a sheet of paper and fold it and make it a card. Because this romance is coming from a very special place within. It's not so much that because this is what I got to do, is this is what I want to do, and I wanted you to know this is something directly from me that I thought of, because I know that you'll appreciate it.
Right. Sounds good. Sounds very good. And since it sounds so good, next question: on a scale of 1 to 10, since you so eloquently said that, where would you put yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 on the romantic scale?
I'll probably say I'll say I fluctuate between 7.5 and an 8. You could always be better. I have my times when I'm really good, and
Right.
then I have my times where I could do better.
Okay. All right. That's not too bad. 7.5 to 8. So give us an example that you can on the show of something you did that would put you at a 7.5 or 8.
Well, I'll just go to something most recent. Doing a date weekend. Did a date weekend with my wife where we just went and had nice dinners. We had movie nights and cuddling. We had going away. So it's not a date weekend in the house. It's going away for the weekend. Having the dinners, going shopping together.
Okay.
So fellas, because lots of us we don't want to go shopping with our wives or our significant others because we're not big shoppers.
Right.
But but that's a big deal for a lot of our women. So to be able to do that is important. And so that's most recently I think is a good example.
That's a good one. Those are nice ones. Yeah, because sometimes it's simple. Then people think those are things that, oh, well, you got to be extravagant when you're trying to be romantic. But whatever your definition is and whatever your love language is with your significant other, that's what works. Sometimes it's not even doing that. Like you said, it could be
Yeah.
something at home in the living room, and
Yep.
that's it. All right. So
Yep.
now this is a general question. 3 things that attract you to women. Because I don't want to get you in trouble. And if I say 3 things that attract you to your wife, and then I got to go the other way and say 3 things that are not attractive. So let's keep it general. 3 things that attract you to females, women.
It's the spirit in terms of the personality. It is that physical attraction is important, and that doesn't mean it's someone has to look like a model or anything, but just that person just looks good. And a lot of times that comes from the spirit. It comes from the inside out. And then the third thing I'll say is sense of humor.
Okay. Yeah, funny's always good.
Yeah,
Especially when it comes from a woman, it's always good, and then they can make you laugh a little bit. All right, cool. Now let's go to the other side. 3 things. This is why I said general and not
right.
about your wife. 3 things that don't attract you that you find just not attractive about a woman.
Smoking.
Okay. Right.
Judgment. If you have a lot of judgment about things, you're not really open-minded to different thoughts, different ideas, or you're judgmental about people. That's unattractive, and then you're very closed off in general. You're not willing to necessarily be spontaneous or do things that are a little bit more fun, a little bit out of your comfort zone, or I would say those are 3 things that are on the unattractive side.
Okay. No, that's Ralph's a good deal. All right, good deal. All right. So we know that romance, we know all that stuff. We talked about love. We also know that respect, honesty, and trust are very
Absolutely.
important in relationships, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
for tonight, for right now on this show, you have the opportunity to get rid of one of those and still have your relationship be successful, or you're married. Which was since you're married, your marriage work. Which one are you going to get rid of out of respect, honesty, and trust?
Wow. I don't even know how you pick one to not have. They're all kind of interconnected. I'm not sure how you can do 2 without the third. I'm going to say, Yeah, I'm not sure how to answer that because if you say because they're all connected. So if you
But
say
okay, here's the thing that'll help you out. Okay, for this show, it's okay to throw one away. When you finish with this show, get out of the mindset when you go back and hang out with your wife. So for this show, it's okay. You got to just throw one out the way. Throw one out the window.
throw one out the
Because I
way.
feel you being safe. Yeah, because I don't know if your wife is watching, but if you finish this show, you go, well, why would you throw away trust? You know, that's not most important. And honestly, why didn't you just tell him? So I don't want to get you in no trouble. So it's only for the show. So throw one away.
Let's let's see. Randomly. Okay, I'll randomly pick honesty. How about that?
Okay, you're still having a time trying to.
Yeah. That's a hard one to have to answer. Yeah.
Well, that's why I chose that question, man. 'Cause you're not the first one that was squirming around in that seat, bro. And I can see Smoke back there laughing, having a ball. Because some people they get like, wait a minute, because that's cool. But no, okay. So you said honesty.
Right.
Okay, yeah, it's fine. There's no wrong answer. That's the thing about it is people they're thinking too much outside the box because there's really no wrong answer because whatever you say is cool. Remember, I said you can throw one away and you'd still be good. But I guess if you have that pressure on you, no problem. Okay. So we know that there's good and bad, ugly and indifferent in this world.
hmm
Tell me 5 things that are beautiful to you in the world or about life.
Mm. 5 things that are beautiful to me in the world about life. Um, well, one is music.
Okay.
2 is family.
Okay.
3 is um, goodness of people um, in general. Um, I'm at 3. 4 is relationships.
Okay.
Um, and then 5 is possibility. The possibility of what you can have, what you can become, what you can create.
Okay. Good ones. Those are good ones. All right. So now I'm gonna set you up on a dinner date. It's not really doesn't have to be a romantic date because I know
Okay.
what the scenario is. But you have the opportunity to have dinner with anybody, past, present, future. Who would you
Mhm.
have dinner with and why?
One person.
Well, I didn't know you were like that. Yeah, one person. I didn't know you was like that, brother. But yeah, one person.
Let's see. Let's see. Probably because, well, I'm going to cheat and say two people. They're both musical. Um, One is because he's my favorite artist ever, and that would be Prince. You know,
I thought it was
Rest
coming
in
in.
Power. Yeah. The second would be Jill Scott because she is probably my favorite current artist, and I had the chance to meet her very briefly once in the airport,
Mhm.
back like months after my wife and I got married. And
Okay.
she was just really, really kind, and I've always wanted to be able to meet her again and tell her how much I appreciated that meeting and tell her my vision of her and how she should be revered. Uh,
Hmm.
because I had this whole vision in my head for Jill Scott and what and a whole ceremony for her and all of that that should have happened. Unfortunately, it can't in my vision because the other person who was going to be in it has transitioned. But um, so those are the two that come up musically. But there's so many. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. Well, I know that's why that's hard too. Yeah, but
yeah,
because there are, and everybody for whatever their reason. So, but I just needed to get. Well, even you gave me 2. That's cool. You narrowed it down.
yeah.
All right. Okay. So this question really is not a regular question. It's catered to you because of what you do.
hmm
you're interviewing the sexiest voice that you've had to interview. Who had the sexiest voice that you had to interview on your show?
Wow, the sexiest voice I had to interview.
Yeah.
Well, technically, it's not so much the interview voice, it's her singing voice. And I always tell her every time I interview her and every time I introduce her, that I call her the honey voice angel, or the honey voice songstress. And that's Mesa. Many people know Mesa, who's sung with Incognito over the years. She's been in the business, I believe, 25 years now. An incredible artist and just an incredible, beautiful voice, singing voice. So every time I interview her, I always start with her by reminding her that I believe she has just the most awesome honey voice that you can hear. So I'll go with Mesa.
You answer these questions. You answer these questions so safely, Marko. I want to let you know that you answer these questions. I see what you're doing, and I hear what you're doing, and I appreciate that. And I know you're keeping yourself safe. I'm not trying to get you in no trouble. I'm just.
And it's hard to kind of, I have to go through the Rolodex of the voices, over the years, and who, trying to pick out somebody who has that real sexy voice. Well, one is an independent artist that is great, and she happens to be a friend. She's like a sister to me. Lorenda Robinson, from a group called Brown Baby Girl. She has an awesome voice. When you talk to her on the radio and when we interview her, she has an incredible voice. So that would be another one as well.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. So I got another question for you. I got so many more, but I'm seeing how my time is going. Fantasy time. Fantasy time. You're walking down the street and you just happen to kick a can or a bottle, and out comes the romantic funny man Genie. All right. He's your genie. He's a low budget genie. Don't have a lot of. He can only give you one wish.
Okay.
But your wish has to include romantic love in it. What is your one wish for your genie?
Janet Jackson. That one was easy.
I thought you was trying to keep it cool, but I guess not. But I'm assuming that your wife knows you have this.
That one is easy. That's been the crush since since 9 years old. If there's any one thing that is worth getting in trouble over, it would be Janet.
Okay, no problem. That works. That's cool. All right, so let's see. Yeah, a couple of minutes before we get into our final segment of the show. In about a minute each, give the women and men advice on dating today, the young people, because they seem to have some difficulty sometimes. So try to do it in a minute each. So 2 minutes, give advice to men, young brothers and young sisters about dating.
Okay, so for young men, as you're dating or trying to date a young lady, think about if that lady was your sister, or if you could think further enough along as if you have a daughter and somebody's trying to date your daughter, or you in another life is trying to date your daughter. How would you want her to be treated? So that's for young men. So it goes back to one of the earlier questions about respect and about how you want to treat women. How obviously we're there's the talk about the Netflix and chill culture of dating and all that. While some of that may be true, I mean, I don't know, because I haven't dated in 23 years, but that is very, being able to date and conversate and communicate and show respect is extremely important, not only for you and her, but also for those around her that eventually, if this goes somewhere, you're going to want to meet or you're going to need to meet. For the women, as you were dating, try to look at the person and not not what car is he driving, what job does he have, what can and be honest with what you want. And this goes for men too. Be honest with what you want, because there are a lot of times that you date that you don't want it to go anywhere in particular. This is just what you're just dating for now. You're not in a position where you want to be serious. And if that's the case, be clear about that. For both of your sakes.
Right. All right. Good advice. Good advice, brother. Okay. You moved through that one pretty easy. All right. So we're going to do our final segment, of this love zone thing. You're making it through. You're not sweating.
Okay. All right.
I did see you sweat a couple of times, though.
I'm almost there. We're in the home stretch.
On the home stretch.
I
got this game that I like to play. It's a fun game called, there it is, Favorites.
Okay.
That's favorites. So basically what I'm going to do is just kind of throw out a few things, ask you some things really quickly, and then like one word answers, you might be able to do it because these are your favorites so that people can get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. First one, favorite food.
Favorite food. I have so many. My mother's fried chicken.
Mama's fried chicken.
That's right.
Always a good one. Always a good one. All right. Favorite all-time song.
Ooh, all-time song. I don't know if I can pick just one.
Yeah, I know. Especially since you love Prince.
Yeah. See, I'd even probably try to take Prince out of the equation because that's a whole nother category. So I'm gonna say, taking Prince out of the equation. Favorite all-time song, Love's in Need of Love Today, Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder. Okay, good deal. That's a good one. Favorite movie all time.
Favorite movie all time. Purple Rain.
Okay.
I can't take Prince out of the equation with that. That's
All right. Or I'll let you do another one then if you want to take Prince out because
okay. So another favorite movie is it's really two, but it's the same franchise. Best Man and Best Man Holiday.
Okay. All right. Yeah, those were very good. They were very good films. All right, cool. Favorite book you've ever read? Favorite book?
Ooh, favorite book.
Yeah.
Wow. There's and there are a few of those too. I'll go with there's a couple. There's one called written by Judge Bruce Wright called Black Robes, White Justice.
Mm-hmm.
Invisible Man, Ralph Ellison.
Okay.
And I'll stop at those two.
All right. Okay, cool. Favorite vacation spot?
I'll favorite vacation spot. Well, how about I say favorite vacation? One of my favorite vacations ever was going to Brazil, specifically Bahia, Brazil.
Okay. That's a good one. That's a good one. Since you have those albums behind you, this is one I'm gonna throw in just for you. I don't usually do this one because favorite song and favorite album is different. So favorite album of all time.
Favorite album of all time. That's because it's hard to pick one.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna stick on the same album that the song comes from. The song's in the Key of Life. It's probably one of the greatest albums ever.
And that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Favorite all-time TV show.
Favorite all-time TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Now this may be a little controversial, but the truth is the truth because of the impact that it had at the time. And if you look at it, still has to this day. the Cosby Show. It's probably one of the best TV shows of all time.
Yeah, no, that's no doubt. You're right, arguably, because people are going to connect with the person and those things that supposedly he did. But the show did so much for a culture.
Yes,
So there's no way to deny that part of it.
right.
This is another one that's for you. Favorite radio DJ.
Favorite radio DJ would be Frankie Crocker. He was the person that I heard most about, and he was the one that really was like wow in terms of music selection, in terms of how he presented it. He was, he was it. It's a second in terms of connection, being able to connect with him and being able to meet him is the legendary Hal Jackson. Who was an amazing man.
Right, cool. All right, last one, and then we'll get you. So for a second, favorite time of the day for love making?
Morning.
A lot of people don't have a problem with that one. The answer that's pretty cool. All right, fantastic. All right, man. So I need you to do that abracadabra one more time.
Abracadabra.
It worked. There it is.
There you go. Maybe I should have done a hand thing too.
With that answer, man, that last answer, you're now out of the love zone, off the love seat. Marko Nobles, I love you, brother. Thank you so much for coming through, and much success, continued success to everything that you're doing, and blessings and safety to your family.
Shawn, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Continue to appreciate all that you do, and so happy for all your success, man. And anytime I could do something, just give me a call. And I appreciate you for putting me in the seat.
Yeah, you take that seatbelt off now. You good, but hang out and don't go nowhere. I got one more thing to do. Close this thing out. So listen, this is the word of the show. A new segment I want to start. The word of the show for tonight is love. Spread love, share love, be loved, love yourself. It's that simple. If we get more of that around the world, then we'll do so much better. So let's, again, the word of the show is love. I want to say thank you to everybody out there, again, on social media, watching on BronxNet Television, DH1 Television, and on Spotify listening, as I always do. I appreciate you so much. So as I always say in parting, please go with God in your heart. Have a peace of mind. Have a wonderful, wonderful tomorrow. And please make sure you guys, please stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. 6 feet social distancing. All right. So from Lula Mae and Cornelius's baby boy, I am the romantic, funny man, Shawn Cornelius, saying, God bless you. Good night. Take care of yourself. And I'll catch you around the corner on the next episode of After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. Marko Nobles, I love you, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.